had 1 year where they averaged a better 3-point percentage than Steph and Clay. It was that very early Splash Brothers. It was like the first year they were dubbed the Splash Brothers. Wesley Matthews and Damian Lillard, I thought they were I was like, oh, they could be a better backcourt because Wesley Matthews was a great defender. But yeah, I forgot it was an Achilles tear. I always think it's an ACL, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was that March 2015? Is that pre or before? Is that pre or post Mavericks deal?
I think it's pre, isn't it? Because I think he tore his Achilles and then went to the Mavericks. But that actually...
So, I mean, his career has definitely declined since then.
For sure.
A lot. I mean, he was a big deal. That was a really big contract, and people were really high on Wesley Matthews going into that year. Then Rudy Gay suffered one at age 30. Rudy Gay, I mean, he was a lot better before there, but hasn't done really much. It was in 2017, so I mean, he hasn't really had enough time to show if he can still be there.
Yeah, that 2015, that was his last year in Portland. He went to Dallas that next year.
Yeah, dang. So, yeah, it's kind of iffy. Dominique did it when he was 21. Dominique's a freak. That's also when you're really young. It seems like most of these guys are suffering it middle of their career or late in their career, and it's just like most of them are already kind of trending downwards anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Dominique's the really interesting one.
Dominique's kind of the outlier.
Yeah, I would say Dominique's definitely
the outlier. It's a death sentence. It's a retirement. It's a nail in the coffin for some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we got to see how Boogie comes back from it too. Boogie's still working his way back from it. We'll see.
What's it called? Brandon Jennings, I think, suffered one with the Pistons when he was doing real well that one season.
I feel like Brandon Jennings just fell off after he was with the Bucks. But yeah.
Yeah, but he was
the shooting percentages though.
He was kind of having like a resurgence, and then he tore it, and he just like, I mean, you know, you hear people talk about it. They say there's just no explosiveness anymore. They lose all of it. So it'll be interesting. But also, none of those guys are really like super great shooters. You know what I mean?
Except for Wesley Matthews.
But other than that, none of them are like high. They're either can't shoot, or like Kobe is just inefficient.
Yeah, Kevin Durant he has the height. He can change his game and become just a post-up scorer or just a shooter. Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to take it to the hole. He's got so many ways he can score. He's already such a tremendous scorer. Defense will be interesting. We'll see how fast he can get off that ankle, that Achilles. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this? What do you want to talk about, I guess, the rest of the series?
Okay. Let's talk about, Thursday, Game 6 in Oracle. The last game played in Oracle for sure this time. What do you think?
Unless they run it back. Unless they said, oh, too close, we're running it back.
Well, so if you're Golden State, you got past the hard part, right? It's 3-2. But you lose KD. What's your mindset going into this? The last 2 times you've played this team without Kevin Durant, you've lost both times at home.
I mean, you really can't be thinking about it too much. I feel like your mindset. I feel like they haven't played with KD all finals, so they're gonna have the same mindset. It's go out there. Clay and Steph have to be tremendous. You gotta hope Quinn Cook or Sean Livingston or one of your other role players can step up. You're already without.
At this point, it's not Sean Livingston. It's Quinn Cook.
Sean Livingston. I mean, he's probably getting like 8 minutes a game. Sean Livingston, but you need someone like that.
Not like up, but yeah.
Jonas Jerebko, maybe. Maybe he gets like hits 2 or 3 threes.
He has 4 3-point game. So, the one thing that I think was kind of lost in all this, were you watching? Kevon Looney. Were you watching him?
Yeah, a little bit. He
was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a grimace all night. He's grabbing his chest. He was hurting. I think they're going to need minutes, pretty significant minutes from Bogut and Cousins, and I wonder how those two, because those two are like good for 10 minutes a night. And out of 48 minutes, where do the other 28 minutes come?
You may really need to stretch out Boogie, if they don't have the offensive output, if Steph's not hot or Clay's not feeling it. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to find the minutes somewhere. Jerebko might have to get a few more minutes. I don't think Bogut has the minutes left in him.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Bogut does, and we saw what happens to Boogie. He can get tired out real quick. You kind of got to use him sparingly.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're going to have to find those minutes. I think you're going to maybe have to just play small. You might just play small, really. They'll just do the old Warriors small ball team.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Serge is eating that up for breakfast type,
Mm-hmm.
Serge Ibaka is killing it when they try to put Draymond on him or someone else. And Serge has been great on defense, which I was worried that he might not be fast enough or quick enough, but hasn't. I mean, he's able to. They just sag off Iggy and Draymond and dare him to shoot, and he's been incredible. So it'll be interesting to see because I think you need Looney or Bogut or Cousins to annoy either Serge or Marc Gasol.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is one of those. This is like with the time when you get signed, Kevin Durant. You're like, well, it's nice, but what if one of these guys get hurt? There's no depth.
Yeah.
There's no depth anymore, and
it's
that's like
how nice would it be for them to have like a Gary Harris or just any guy like Al-Farouq Aminu or something, like just a guy that can hit some threes and play defense.
I was thinking the other night just about the old Warrior team, the 73-win team, like with Harrison Barnes. Sean Livingston was looking good. I can't remember who else was on the other big role players.
Iggy. Well, Sean Livingston was back when. Yeah, I mean he wasn't shooting threes, but he was hitting his.
He had a really good series.
Turnaround fadeaways. He shot better on post fades than Dirk Nowitzki that season.
Yeah, he had the pull up. He was hitting a reels. Nice. It was nice. Yeah, Iggy had the NBA Finals MVP.
They had Festus Ezeli.
Yeah. I just can't. I know Bogut was big in that team, but I just can't remember who all the other role players were.
I mean, Bogut was huge. Oh, that's right, Ian Clark. How can we forget? Ian Clark was hitting threes, and then Mo Spites. That was the other guy.
He was
Spites.
See, that's the depth they had. But now with you get Kevin Durant, you're just getting these league minimum guys, and then you're just having to really rely on like Quinn Cooks.
And Leandro Barbosa. That was
Barbosa was on there too. But yeah,
champion.
So now you're just relying on Quinn Cook. Quinn Cook, who might not strike a lot of rotations at all, and just like most NBA teams, he's a good player, but there's a lot of teams he won't crack rotations with. They just don't really have the depth. I mean, there's 2 games left. All you got to do is win 2 games. This is the Warriors. There's still Steph and Clay. They can do it. But before that, you were talking about it. Last game in Oracle. This just feels like the perfect way. You have your little sports documentary. You have your 30 for 30.
Yeah.
The ending of the Warriors dynasty.
Too.
The last game in Oracle. Everything's over. This feels like that could be it. And I feel like if they do lose, that could really set the pace. Kevin Durant is probably done. He's probably not playing for the Warriors ever again. He may take that player option, but I don't think he's ever playing with the Warriors again.
Mm-hmm.
You get Clay
if he
back.
takes the player option, he's out for a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you think you get Clay back, but I don't know. Clay could walk.
This is the thing. This finals has proved Clay's getting the max.
Mm-hmm. Clay's gonna get the max.
What he's done this finals, it is actually incredible. He's shooting like 51% on 9 3-point attempts, which is like, I mean, that is mind-boggling. So every night you're taking 9 3-point attempts, you're making either 4 or 5. You're getting, you're getting 12 to 15 points a night just from threes. Not to mention you're also getting shots in the lane and you're locking down defensively. I mean, how much would you pay for a guy like that? It's irreplaceable.
Yeah, he's a max player. He deserves a max contract. He should be an all-NBA player. I don't know if we ever talked about this, and I'm just like, so after these finals and all these playoffs, we still have that award show, and I feel like everyone forgot about the MVP, the regular season MVP, and no one even cares about it anymore.
That is the problem. Is every year there's someone that you're like, ooh, like everyone, like people are gonna get, and they're like, Kawhi should have gotten that, right? Like Kawhi's the best player, right?
Yeah, and then you just forget.
Happens every year, and it's like just do it before the playoffs start.
They should have like a week off before the playoffs and just have it on a Wednesday night or something. Do it whenever. It doesn't matter.
Listen to this, okay? Week before, you have a week off between the end of the regular season and the playoffs. You do the award show. So let's say it ends on a weekend. That next Monday, let's say it ends on a Saturday. Sunday off. Monday, take the bottom 8 teams. Okay, they play a game. They play a tournament Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Finals of the tournament. The winner of the tournament gets the first pick in the draft.
I still hate that tournament thing.
You do that for the bottom 8 teams. You get all of them figured out, and then on that Thursday and Friday or whatever, you can do like media days for each team for like the playoff teams or whatever, and then the Saturday you do the award show.
I don't like the tournament thing, but we already talked about that. What I do like, they need the week off, and then like the award show on Saturday. It's basically the Heisman. You do the conference championships for college football. And then the next week's the Heisman. And then you go into bowl season. It's just like that. Yeah. Same concept. I think that's the best way to do it. Because now I'm like, I don't really care if Giannis or Harden or whoever wins the MVP right now. All I care about really is the Rookie of the Year. I mean, most of the time the Rookie of the Year is not going to be in the playoffs anyway, unless he's just spectacular on like a Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons type thing.
Yeah.
But
what would be nice is also like bringing back. So they used to do it in the middle of the playoffs, which was kind of worse. But what I do miss was like you'd have things like Russell Westbrook won, and they were playing the Rockets, and the next game you could tell James Harden was just taking it to the Thunder, just like, no, I'm the MVP. Like, I miss those type of games too.
It was
like
always
people that feel like they're snubbed. Like, what would have happened if Giannis wins the MVP and then Kawhi just takes it right at him, shuts him down defensively in the Bucks series? Oh man, it would have been wild.
It was always kind of cool to see the player get the award right before the playoff game. It's kind of awkward, but it's kind of neat. And then I feel like that always does happen. Like something happens, and they're like, "This guy, come on!" And it's just weird, and it's awkward for everyone.
Like, do it before.
They should have like the award show just before. It shouldn't be after the playoffs. I know they're trying to create more television after, but I mean, you already have the draft, and then and maybe make the combine a bigger deal. If you want more content, make your NBA combine a bigger deal.
Nobody goes to the combine.
Well, I'm just trying to help them out. If they really care this much about ratings and extra money,
Taco went.
Yeah, Taco went.
Who else?
Everyone went. Everyone went except for like DeAndre Hunter.
5 guys go.
Except for like DeAndre Hunter. They all went. They all did like questions. They didn't compete or anything.
Yeah, but who cares about the questions?
I know, but NFL Combine, there's still ratings, and everyone's mostly compete doing it, except for like the top 5. So I mean, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's make the predictions for the rest of the series then. What do you got going down to Thursday, Game 6?
Rockets win. Close it out.
The Rockets win? Wow, that's a big one. How are they going to win?
What?
How are the Rockets going to win?
Oh, Raptors.
The Rockets are going to find a way in. James Harden is using his rematch clause. WWE style. It's a triple threat match. Rockets steal Game 6. Game 7. The best of 4 has changed.
This is what's going to happen. It's going to be a just fine game, like whatever. Raptors might do better a little bit. There's going to be a period in the third quarter where it looks like the Warriors are going to get hot. Kawhi Leonard's going to score like 8 straight points, and they're not going to look back, and then they're not going to lose the lead from then on. Something like that's going to happen. This Raptors team is better. They're the better team. Another thing that we actually didn't mention, they were like 2 for 18 in the first half from 3, and they were wide open threes. They start making those, they only needed one of them. So if they're hitting threes, so the Warriors shot like 50% as a team from 3. The Raptors shot like 30%. The Raptors shoot 35%. The Warriors probably aren't shooting 50 again. So it's the Raptors.
Yeah. Right now, I think the Warriors are favored by 3 from the Vegas books. And it's in Oracle. and I kind of feel like we're going to get a Steph Clay game. But it does feel like the end of the dynasty. I kind of